Hopefully I've got a nice camera alignment. Right, morning guys. So today's workout is focused on leg strength. So I know you guys did a higher intensity workout yesterday with Jack, so I thought we'd work a little bit more on strength today. So you can use body weight, you can use dumbbells, kettlebells, resistance band if you've got one, you can use a weighted backpack. If you've got nothing, like I said, body weight's absolutely fine. So that we can all work together, sort of going through the movements, and you can do the reps sort of to your own ability. We're going to be working for 40 seconds and then resting for 20 seconds. Some of these exercises are quite tough, so you probably will need that rest. And we're going to go for 4 rounds. So some of the exercises, you've obviously got to do them each on both legs. So it's going to be sort of 6 minutes of work at a time, and then we'll probably rest about a minute in between rounds. I'll quickly show you guys what the exercises are. The first one's going to be a slow tempo goblet squat. So if you don't have a dumbbell or you're using a bag, you can hold it here. Otherwise, you could put a resistance band around your knees, that'd be fine. So you're going to be going down really slowly. So all the way down to the bottom, and then we're going to hold at the bottom for 4, and then up. So it's down slow, hold, sort of drive up fast. From the side, I'm just going to quickly show you. So you want to try and keep your torso quite upright. We're going to warm up your ankles, but if you've got very tight ankles, you might find this quite hard to stay upright because your knees don't track over your toes properly. So if you find you're a bit like this is going to really hurt your back. So if that's the case, either the weight's maybe a bit heavy, or so you need to get rid of the weight, or just really focus on drawing your tummy in and up, shoulders stay back, and think about sitting your butt straight down between your heels. So you see, I've got quite tight ankles, but I can keep my body fairly upright. This is almost counterbalancing me. So that's what that's going to look like. You can hold your backpack. If you've got a barbell, you can stick a barbell on your back and do a backpack squat instead. The next one will be a 1.5 Bulgarian split squat. So we did these last week. It just keeps that muscle under tension for a bit longer. So remember, you want to keep your rib cage down, but shoulders back. And you're going to go all the way down, halfway up, back down, all the way up. So you could hold a dumbbell in a goblet position, you could hold dumbbells by your side, you could have a weight on your back, you could hold a backpack. But because these are kind of keeping the leg under tension for so long, they're really hard just body weight. So try and load up this glute. If you find you're getting a stretch in sort of up here in the back leg, you're probably too upright and you might be too far away from the chair or sofa, whatever you're resting on. So if you're too like this, you're just going to get a stretch here and it's going to feel really uncomfortable. So instead, think ribs down, load the heel of this foot, and you see in the bottom, my knees sort of bent quite close to the box. That's what we want, but my spine's still neutral. And I can really feel it working that glute of the front leg. So we're obviously going to do that one. We'll do one leg first and then the other leg within the same round. So I know last week we did a whole round on one leg and a whole on the other. So it's slightly different. Next one is going to be single leg Romanian deadlift. So I think we've done the no weight version, the body weight version quite a few times. If you're working with no weights at all, try and hover the non-working leg close, sort of right next to the working leg, and don't let it come back. So that will make it really hard. So you should really feel it loading up that hamstring. If that's too much, then you can take it back. If you're holding weights, then you can hold one in each hand. Try and avoid, what you don't want to happen is, as you go down, for your hips to open. So if you're kind of feeling like this is happening, you can see my pelvis is twisted this way, make sure you correct it. So imagine you've got both of your hip bones sort of pointing towards the floor the whole time. Really sit this sit bone back. So your back staying nice and sort of squeezed together, so you're not letting your shoulders go, staying nice neutral spine. So we're going to do that on each leg. And then the last one is going to be hip thrust with abduction. Abduction just means you're taking the leg away from the sort of midline of your body. So you can pop your resistance band on for this. We've got 20 seconds, there should be time. So shoulder blades, or just below the shoulder blades, on your box or on your sofa or bed. Tummy nice and tight. and you're taking, your whole torso is moving as one. So you don't want to see this where your body's like, your back's arching each time. That's just going to start to work sort of the muscles around your lower back. So rather, your whole body moves as one, and you're going to drive up, and at the top you're going to drive your knees out to resist the band. Hold for a couple of seconds, back in and down. So you can add resistance, you can put a weight on here. If you don't have a resistance band, then don't worry, still do the same thing, drive up, knees out and down. So we're working that glute medius, which is the muscle on the side of your butt. Cool, right, hopefully that made sense. So we're gonna have a bit of a warm up. So find yourself a little bit of space. We're just gonna get into the legs a little bit first, and we are gonna warm up those ankles. If you find consistently when you're training that you're like constantly kind of having to lean forward quite a lot like this in your squat and trying to sit up, like I've got very tight ankles, so trying to sit really upright for me means my toes want to swivel out, or it might feel like you're going to fall over backwards. You might find if you prop like a thin book or something under each foot, that might alleviate the problem because it's going to take your ankle mobility out of it and you'll be able to get a bit deeper in your squat. So feel free to do that. So to start off with, find a bit of space. We're going to go just 10 regular bodyweight squats. Give yourself a bit of space. So drive your knees out, squeeze your butt at the top. So already starting to think about which muscles you're using. So good, 7, 3 more. Excellent. From there, we're just going to go for a forward stepping lunge with a little lean back with the arms. So taking step forward, arms overhead. So you should feel a stretch down that back hip flexor and quad. Brilliant, give it a little twist off side to side. Perfect, all right, now we're just gonna pop down on the mat. We're just gonna do glute bridges. So go 10 reps of a glute bridge. That's a bit like the hip thrust. I'm not sure if you'll be able to see me on the floor. Just about 10 reps. So you're driving your hips up to the ceiling and back down. So we're just moving through the movements that we're gonna be doing in the class. Try and keep your knees in line with your hips. Don't let them fall in towards each other. 2 more. Perfect. All right, same thing again. So 10 squats, 10 lunges, 10 glute bridges. So off we go. So you're trying to drive your knees out. Don't worry about them going forward over your toes. That's what we want. I know a lot of people have been told not to do that. Yeah, not kind of having to squat like this, keeping your shins vertical. It's not what we want. That's it. Perfect. All right, last time doing these lunges. So a lunge and a lean back. Just take your time with these. I know they're a little bit difficult on your balance sometimes. Perfect. All right, back to those glute bridges. Last round. Really squeeze your butt at the top this time. So driving your hips up by using your glutes. You might feel a bit of activation in those hamstrings as well, the back of your legs. Brilliant, all right. So I'm just gonna angle the camera down a little bit so you can see on the floor. We're just gonna warm up. Hi, Paula. Cool, right, so hopefully you can see my mat there. So find yourself a little bit of space on the floor. We're going to mobilise through your ankles and through your hips. So to start off with, we're going to go into like a downward dog position. this. So pushing up out of your shoulders and feel like you're trying to push your tailbone up towards the ceiling. You can take a bend in your legs if you need to. Pedal one foot down towards the floor at a time so you're getting a nice stretch through the ankle and through the calf. So some of you might notice there's a bit of a difference one side to the other. I've got a much tighter left ankle because I sprained it last year, so I really have to work on it. So now you're going to take your left foot onto your left calf like this. It's kind of like a figure four. And then you're just going to bend that right leg and really try and sink that heel. So you should get more of a stretch through the heel. So you're going to come out of it and then push into it. So rock forwards and then rock back. So we're just trying to sort of dynamically stretch into it. You might find it's starting to come to the floor a bit easier now. Don't always pay loads of attention to our ankles, but they can cause knee pain, injuries elsewhere up the body. So swap sides now. So left leg is the one we're stretching now. So bend into it, trying to drive that heel towards the floor. You might feel like there's a bit of a blocking sensation in the front. Just keep moving through it. It's sort of like trying to get a rusty joint moving with your ankles sometimes. That's it, 8. One, a couple more. 9. Excellent. All right, from there, we're just going to stretch into your squat and into your thoracic spine a bit. So your thoracic spine's sort of in the upper back, often quite tight. So sit down into your squat. Use your elbows to drive your knees out. So this is going to help you get nice and low on those goblet squats. So right arm comes out, left arm up towards the ceiling. So you're going to look up to that left hand. Try and keep your heels down. If they're coming up, come a bit higher in your squat. Swap sides. You might feel it like there's a bit of a twist in your spine, or you might feel a bit of a stretch in your back too, that's fine. That's it, last one. Brilliant. All right, from there, just gonna adjust the camera back a little bit. Otherwise I think you can see too much of me. There we go. Okay, just give your ankles and knees a bit of a, knees, ankles and hips a bit of a roll out. So just bring your knee up, give it a little twirl around, and the other way, and the other side. So take this all at your own pace. The reason I've done it for time is so we can all sort of stick together with moving through it. Cool, so 40 seconds of work, 20 seconds of rest. There will be, because we've got 2 that are single leg, so there'll be 6 exercises. So it'll be 6-minute rounds, we'll take about a minute rest, and we'll go 4 times. So it should be a bit of a leg burner. Hopefully you're ready for it. Feel free to stick your own music on. Cool. Adam, do you know where the... Oh, it's right, I've got it. So I'm just going to grab my timer, guys. So we're starting with those slow tempo squats. If you want to make it sort of extra spicy, you could go for like a resistance band and weight combination. So you're focusing on keeping muscle tension the entire time. Okay. The only thing is if you put the band on, you're going to have to shimmy it back off. So I'm personally just going to go for a single goblet squat. 10-second countdown is on, guys. So 40 seconds of work. Try and focus on getting that upright position. Going in 5. So get ready. 2, 1. Off we go. Remember you're holding at the bottom here. And then driving up. Try and stay in an active position in the bottom. So you're not just sitting in the bottom of the squat. It's about halfway.
Halfway there.
So far it shouldn't feel too bad.
10 seconds. Rest.
Alright, rest it there, 20 seconds. So to start with, this should feel fairly comfortable. Next one we're doing is a 1.5 Bulgarian. So you've got 10 seconds to get yourself in position. Goblet hold, maybe hold the weights at your side, whatever works. Let's go right leg first.
Let's go.
Okay, so it's down, halfway up, down, all the way up.
Halfway there.
Halfway, keep it on the same leg.
Ten seconds.
10 seconds.
Rest.
Rest it there. Alright. Other side. So, I don't know about you, I think those are really hard. And it's only the first round. Grab some water, you've got 10 seconds. Alright, left leg this time. So you might find it easier if you hold your dumbbell to hold it like this. So it doesn't hit your leg. Keep those hips square to the front. Shoulders stay back. Try not to lean on the back leg too much.
Halfway there.
Keep going, guys, 20 seconds. Ooh.
10 seconds.
10 seconds.
Rest.
Oh, rest it there. God, that's hard. Okay. Single leg RDL. So, if you're really new to this and you've got weights, but you don't feel confident on one leg yet, go for a regular Romanian deadlift. Standing on both feet, that's fine.
Let's go.
Alright, right leg first. Just take your time with these. There's no rush. It's a bit of challenging your balance as well.
Halfway there.
God, I
10
did that.
seconds. Rest.
Rest it there, 20 seconds rest. Then we're going to the other side. Oh. So, the left leg this time. If that feels too much, remember, just try and keep that foot hovering close to the working leg. It doesn't have to be loaded.
Let's go.
Likewise, don't worry how low you're going. It just depends on the flexibility of your hamstrings. So you'll focus on keeping your back nice and straight.
Halfway there.
20 seconds. Ten. Ooh. One more rep.
Rest.
Alright, rest it there. Last exercise in this round. That's the hip thrust with abductions. That's where you're kind of driving up and then you're doing this with your knees. I'm going to face that way, so it might be harder for you to see. Okay, 3 seconds. So shoulder blades just on the box.
Let's go.
So try and just squeeze your bum at the top. And open your knees.
Halfway there.
So keep it going. Re-squeeze your butt, keep the tummy
10 seconds.
tight as you're being pulled up from your tummy. pressure. Get out of your resistance band. Whew. If you can feel it at all in your lower back, in a painful way, then definitely swap to something else or take the weight away. I know sometimes I can feel my back's working, it doesn't hurt, but I can feel it's doing something. If for you feel like, oh, that's a sharp pain, then take the weight away, do a regressed version, do something just for your own body weight, that's absolutely fine. If the Bulgarians feel way too much for you, then you could just go in the regular lunge here, that'd be absolutely perfect. Like this, just a static sort of split squat. If you find those Romanian deadlifts are maybe a little bit hard, like I said, either just hold your bag and do a regular deadlift, or you could do more of the glute bridges, they can work your hamstrings too. Alright, we're going in 20 seconds, so back to those goblet squats. So maybe to add a bit of challenge, you can try and come up slowly as well. That's going to make it really tough, so your muscles never not under tension, basically. Alright, let's go. So you're going down. 2, 3, 4. Hold it there. 2, 3, 4. Now so you can come up 4. 2, 3, 4. Straight back down. 2, 3, 4. Hold. 2, 3, 4. Back up. 2, 3, 4, then straight back down. So there's no sort of rest point at the top. Keep that tummy tight.
10 seconds.
Let's go one more.
Rest.
Rest it there. All right, Bulgarians next. Oh, these are tough. Find somewhere that feels comfortable for you with these. I've sort of found if I flip the dumbbell, it stops it clonking on my knee as I squat down. Oh,
Let's go.
okay, if we go 1.5. Don't let that tummy sort of sag. Keep breathing.
Halfway there. 10 seconds. Rest.
Oh, rest it there. Okay. 20 seconds rest. Back up. That one's a burner. If that feels really awkward, it feels like it's rounding your back at all, hold something at your sides for sure. I just don't think I could do it too 14.
Let's go.
Alright, off we go.
Halfway there. 10 seconds.
Ooh. Some balance. Alright, rest it there. RDLs. So the aim with the RDLs is to put the work in your hamstring and your glutes. If you don't feel that, drop the weight back a bit. Or go body weight. I think I'm going to go body weight because I can actually feel it a bit more.
Let's go.
An alternative here is what we call B stance. So you tap that back foot down. You might find that's a bit more supportive if you don't lose your balance as much. Like that.
Halfway there. 10 seconds.
Rest there. Other side, so you've got 20 seconds. Go back on the left leg. Keep Keep going, doing really well, guys. 10 seconds. Back on the left side. Going in 3, 2, 1.
Let's go.
Bit wobbly there. Halfway.
Halfway there. Ten seconds. Rest.
Rest there. All right, hip thrust with abduction. So if you've got, if it's a bit awkward for you doing it on a sofa or something, you can just do these. That's fine. Shimmy in. Got about 5 seconds. All right, off we go. Really drive those knees out. Try to pull them out from the side of your bum. So don't sort of let that happen too quickly, because you're not really going to keep the muscle under tension. So kind of make it a slow up,
Halfway there.
out, hold for a second, in and back.
Ten seconds.
Keep it going. All right, rest there. We've got a minute rest. Grab some water. So I went for just the bodyweight version of the RDLs that time. I'm going to do the B stance one this time. Just did some deadlifts yesterday, so I can feel my lower back's a little tender. So a B stance one, your back foot will just be tapped to the floor, but you're not really putting much weight for it. So you're really hinging your hips, so you can really feel the stretch there. Do what works for you. Some people can't really feel that working so much, and they like to take their leg up. Whatever works. Okay, right, we've got 2 more rounds, then moving on to our core.
Halfway there.
These are all quite difficult movements for your legs, so 3 good ways to keep your strength and your stability up
10 seconds.
while you're at the gym, because obviously, usually you'd probably be getting under a bar doing squats or deadlifts or whatever you're going to do, so this is a good way to work it in a different way. So we've got about 15 seconds and we're back on those goblet squats. Keep doing it, that's good. 10 seconds. All right, grab that weight. So nice and slow down. Hold at the bottom actively, then slow up. Squeeze the butt at the top, but straight back down. Sit your butt straight down between your heels. Let's go one more.
10 seconds.
Okay,
Rest.
rest it there. Bulgarians. Ooh, I'm gonna have to hold it in the same place. Going in about 10 seconds. So these are 1.5 Bulgarians, so going down, pulsing up, back down, all the way up. If that feels too much, just go for a regular. But if you're capable of it, push yourself a bit. Why not? Halfway. Rest it there, okay. seconds, then we're off on the other leg. Hopefully you're starting to feel the glutes firing up a bit. Quads.
Let's go.
Alright, off we go. Shoulders stay back.
Halfway there. Ten seconds. Rest.
Alright, rest it there. Gosh, this is tough. Okay. Single leg Romanian deadlift, so however you're doing it, body weight, whatever it is. I'm going to go the B stance ones this time, so back foot's tapped down.
Let's go.
So I'm really trying to stick my right sit bone back.
Halfway there.
10 seconds.
10 seconds. Rest.
Rest it there. 20 seconds rest. Back on the other side. Ooh, hit that back a little bit of a rotate off. Starting to feel it like firing up a little bit, so just be really conscious of drawing your tummy in. Okay, other side.
Let's go. Halfway there. 10 seconds. Rest.
Rest it there. Hip thrust. Whew. If you like, you can hold this up and then just do the abduction.
Let's go.
So you can hold up here and just do continuous abduction, but don't let those hips sag. Keep squeezing your butt cheeks.
Halfway there. 10 seconds.
10 seconds, guys, keep going. Ooh. All right, rest it there. We have one more round, so we've got 1 minute rest, one more round. Do give your back a good rotate off. I know some of these, although they're not like working your back specifically, and where you're hinging, you're going to feel it a little bit here. So if you're kind of staying active, you will feel those muscles. They should be working, so you're not rounding, but you don't want them to be doing the main part of the work. So try and really kind of get that connection to the hamstring if you can, and the RDL. So that's why I've given you a few variations to find what works.
Halfway there.
40 seconds rest still. So maybe just round off, move the spine a bit.
10 seconds.
If you find you go into a bit of a too deep a range for you, back off a little bit. So if you can't sort of, for example, get into that deeper squat and you find you get to here and then any lower this happens, just go to here where you can keep that good position. That's always the most important thing. So we've got 10 seconds, last round. Then we're going on to a bit of core, so no jumping around today. All right, 3 seconds. Last round, let's go. That's it, keep those muscles under tension. Try not to rest at the top or at the bottom. It's always active. Keep driving your knees out.
10 seconds. Rest.
Rest it there. All right, last one, Bulgarians. We're doing well, hopefully you feel it. 10 seconds. It's really muggy today, so it's a bit warm, isn't it? 3 seconds.
Let's go.
All right, off we go. Oh, wrong leg. That's it, keep those shoulders pulling together. Draw that belly button right into your spine.
Halfway there.
Halfway, keep pushing through it.
Ten seconds.
10 seconds.
Rest.
All right, 20 seconds rest. Off on the other leg. Nearly done with the legs anyway. 10 seconds. All right, going in 3.
Let's go.
Whew. Oh,
Halfway
that's so
there.
much harder.
10 seconds.
10 seconds.
Rest.
Rest it there. Last time on these RDLs. Ooh. My heart's pumping. It's a good thing about working legs. It works. Burns a lot of calories, gets your heart rate out.
Let's go.
All right, off we go. However you're doing these. Don't worry if you're holding weight. Don't worry about how low the weights are going. It's all about when you feel that tension in your hamstring.
Halfway there. 10
10
seconds.
seconds.
Rest.
Rest it there. Whew. Going again in 5, we're nearly done.
Let's go. Halfway there.
drive your knees out. That's going to get a bit more fire in the glutes. Push the side of your butt. Oh.
Let's go.
Try and make sure you're right at the top of your hip thrust. So don't be down here doing it. Or your glutes driving as high as you can. If you can, hold out for a little bit each rep.
10 seconds.
10 seconds.
Rest.
All right, rest of there, good job. We're done with your legs. So we're going to be moving on to core next. So I'm going to do this a little bit. A bit ambitious with what we're going to do, it's going to be a bit tough. So just stop this here. So we're going to be doing 15 seconds on each exercise. There's no rest in between the exercises. There's 4 different exercises. You're going to go straight from one to the other. So you're working for a minute at a time. If that feels too much for you, then just take a small rest and then jump back in when you can. I think that'll be okay. So the first exercise is going to be heel taps. So we've done these before. So you want to make sure that you're crunched up first, and then you reach round, tapping over heel. So you want to think shorten the distance between your bottom rib and your hip, so your abs are really switched on and your lower back's on the floor, and then you're reaching around. So you don't want to be lying on your back, just kind of doing this because your abs aren't doing much there. The next one is going to be reverse crunches. So your hands come to the floor, head rests on the floor, and then you're just using your core to pull your butt up off the floor by a little bit. Next one is going to be alternating leg V-sets. So you're trying to reach your hands and feet up at the same time. If that's too much, or you've got very tight hamstrings, go for a bent leg. If that's too much, then you're going to have your knees up above your hips, head down, and you're just going to alternate one leg towards the floor at a time, so using your lower abs to resist. For the last one, we're going to go bicycle crunch, so opposite knee to opposite elbow. Okay, hopefully that makes sense. So we'll have a rest in between each round, so it's a whole minute of ab work. Try and just push through it. If you need to just rest for a second, then do, and then just jump back in when you can. Okay, so 15. Ignore what the timer says, because it's going to tell you to rest and work and things, but we'll be doing, oh, for God's sake. 15 and 15. Okay, right, 10-second countdown. I'll try and remember what I just said they were. Okay, feet together. Going in 5 seconds. 3, 2, 1. So crunch up and then tapping each foot either side. Going again in 10 seconds. So going into those reverse crunch.
Rest.
All right, off we go. So straight into it.
Let's go.
All right, V-sets.
Rest.
All right, bicycle crunch, last one. So this doesn't have to be mega fast. Five seconds.
Let's go.
All right, rest it there. Oh, that was tough. Okay, so we've got 1 minute rest, then we're going to go again. So because we're doing a whole minute, it's going to restart to fatigue abs. So that last exercise should feel quite hard, but stick with it. Only 2 more minutes of work.
Rest.
Sorry, I know this timer keeps saying work and rest, just ignore it. Whew. Still got about 30 seconds rest, and we'll grab some water. If you manage the V-sits, well done. If you need to drop back to a regression in this round, if you're a bit tired, that's fine. If it felt a bit easy, try and push a bit harder.
Rest.
Alright. I think we're off again. So we're going in 5 seconds. 3, 2, 1. Back to those heel taps. Five seconds. Into reverse crunches next.
Rest.
Off we go. Peeling your butt up. If this is too much, just do leg lowers down to the floor like this. Slow and controlled.
Let's go.
V-sits.
Rest.
Bicycle crunch, last one. 10 seconds, keep going. 5.
Let's go.
Rest there, God that hurts. I have a 6-pack by the end of this, hopefully. Oh. Grab some water, we've just got one more round.
Rest.
About 30 seconds. Last round, so try and push through it now. I know your abs are starting to burn now, that's good. 20 seconds. All right, find yourself back in position on the floor. Last round now. Even lowering down just hurt.
Let's go.
All right, off we go. Last round now. Reach a bit further each time if you can.
Rest.
So reverse crunch. Try and make the abs peel you off the floor rather than using your hands.
Let's go.
V-sits.
Rest.
And bicycle crunch, core last one.
Let's go.
Oh, rest it there, yuck. God, I feel like I've been punched. Okay, we're going to stretch out your abs as we've just done a load of work on them. So switch over onto your front and just take your hands down to the mat and just gently drop your hips down. If you turn your big toes sort of in towards each other, then your glutes will switch off. So they won't kind of be holding you up. Or you can come up on your forearms if you don't have like particularly flexible back. Just here's fine, just let the abs stretch the other way. That's it, nice. From there, just bring your left leg through and into pigeon pose. So shins sort of parallel with the front of the mat. Gently lower onto your forearms if that's there for you, otherwise stay up on your arms. Just really breathe into it here, so it's going to stretch into your glute and into your hip. Another tight area for me. This is a good one to hold for a long time if you can. That's it for now, just ease out of it, swap sides. I know some of you need to get back to work and things, so I don't want to hold you too long, but if you do have time, this is a great one, especially while you are sitting at a desk a lot. Ooh, really breathe into it. you're just going to use your box or your sofa or whatever you're using, and take your foot up on it. We're going to go for a couch stretch, so stay nice and upright so that you're feeling the stretch in your hip flexor here. Sit, squeeze this glute as well. And the other side. So hopefully you guys can feel that working on the legs a little bit today. You don't want to make them all sort of crazy jumpy around workouts. It's really important to work on your strength and stability and sort of evenness side to side. You might need a pillow or something under your knee if your knee's quite sensitive. That's it. Just ease your way up from there. And you're just going to stretch down and let your head hang. Just sort of melt into the floor, get that stretch in your hamstring. Take your hands behind your calves. Ease up from there. You guys are done. Tomorrow it'll be with Adam at 12:30, and I'll see you guys on Saturday. Thanks for joining in.